So it's 4 years now since the first Minister of Wales inaugurated the Morgan Advanced Studies Institute. And what a time, what a journey that's been. A pandemic, of course, but geopolitical problems, cost of living crisis, all sorts of issues in the world. But throughout that time, we've built a hopeful, joyful and purposeful community. Whenever I meet that community, I put up a picture of a murmuration. A murmuration is a flocking of starlings, a beautiful movement of diverse individual birds that together move with force. And that's what we are, a diverse set of researchers from all sorts of backgrounds flowing together in beauty and trying to change the world. And in this film, you'll see some of that, you'll hear from the researchers, but mainly I'm here to say to you, join us and make the next 4 years even better.
I've been the project officer for MASI since 2022. In that time, I've supported nearly 50 projects with the MASI funding. I've worked really hard to build up a vibrant community by holding capacity events, fellows events and hosting external visitors. I feel proud to be part of the pioneering work that MASI funds, and we're excited to showcase some of the outcomes that have been achieved in this showreel.
So MASI funding has been invaluable for us because it's given us the freedom and opportunity to explore a new methodological approach in our work looking at how physical environments impact human well-being. I'm a psychologist, so typically I've always relied on methods like surveys and experiments to collect my data, but through this MASI project we've been able to work with and learn from colleagues in other disciplines around how we can make use of art workshops as a way of getting our participants to visually show us what their environments for well-being look like. And this has been fantastic because on the one hand we have this really unique source of data in the form of these artworks, but also it turns out this process of engaging in the workshops has been really fun and rewarding for the people taking part in our research. So often when we're gathering data, it's quite a one-way process. We're asking our participants to give us information and not giving them much back. But here we've been able to put on an activity that's actually been something that can boost their well-being as well. And this is definitely something that I want to take forward into future work.
MASI funding really has given us agency to take risk and use creative methods to collect data in a different way. But it only really worked because we were encouraged to look beyond our own discipline and work with other great people across the university who have the skills that we don't. And as a PhD student, I'm aware of how unique that is, to have an opportunity like that, to work in this way at such an early stage in my career.
So with the help of a MASI Basecamp funding, we started exploring the application of social robots in the form of a robotic pet toy for older adults to address issues of loneliness and isolation. We were able to publish the findings from a co-design workshop with older adults in Swansea. They preferred soft robots which would respond to their touch, gestures and emotions. We are now looking for external funding to develop a toolkit for the social robot so that people can make their own pet robots at home for their loved ones.
So we've got two streams of funding with MASI. We started last year with, or the year before, with a Basecamp project in which we tested some methodology in Uruguay. The idea was to be able to establish links between the Global South and the Global North and work on climate change and emotions. So we went to Uruguay, we did a series of workshops there, we tested the methodology. As a result of that, we published a book of short stories that students wrote in collaboration with local artists and creative writers. That first project, I think one of the main important things was that it allowed us to expand our network and get to know people and colleagues in Brazil, Argentina, Chile that showed an interest in the project as well. That led naturally to the second project, the Summit project, in which we are expanding this into more countries in Latin America and establish closer links to Wales as well and the North. So in the next couple of days we'll be hosting a conference and colleagues from France, Spain, Uruguay will be coming all together to develop new ideas. This is also possible based to external funding that we have secured after MASI, including impact acceleration accounts, AHSC funding, and we're also working on several grants with Brazilian colleagues and UK colleagues. And the idea is also to work on a Horizon grant possible in the future with the European partners. So I think these are all the things that we've managed to achieve thanks to the support of the MASI projects.
The project started a year ago, and the aim of the project is to improve the empathy of medical students when working with deaf patients. So we're using virtual reality, which means that the students can try it out and understand the best way to work with deaf patients. Having done a literature review and looking to see if there are any research out there that has done this previously, we found very few research projects that were around health and virtual reality and the deaf community. So this project is very much needed. We then went out and carried out workshops working with the deaf community and asking them their experiences in a healthcare setting, whether that be in the hospital or the doctors. And the feedback that we got was that deaf patients are not very happy. They suffered discrimination and they suffered the impact of stereotypes in different ways. Communication was very poor, as well as deaf awareness. Most of the deaf community were not happy, which showed that really we do need to improve the understanding of medical students when working with the deaf community. We shared this research with the virtual reality team who filmed different scenarios and created virtual reality settings so that medical students could try them out and find out the best ways to work with deaf patients. Once they tried out the virtual reality, they could then give us feedback on their experience and how useful they found it.
This project was a Base Camp MASI project funded in 22-23. Together with Dr. Julie Picconi from Health, we have been working on this project. But today, what I want to focus on is the outputs, news and updates. First, I want to share a poster that was designed with children about some safety tips. What is really interesting about this project is not just the tips, but the idea that this was created with children and the idea of sharing this poster with other children to support their loved ones and look after themselves and enjoy the sun safely came from children. These posters are fully accessible, free to download from our website, so please take a look at them. And the other news and updates is that this year we will be presenting in the European Educational Research Conference. In August, in Cyprus, we will be sharing the project and how we work with children in creative and innovative ways to hear from them and to spread the voice of what is to participate and work in research with young children. So please take a look at our website, see there the news and updates, and we will continue updating our work.
One of the exciting things about MASI has been seeing the range of different career stages and people who've been involved coming from such a range of different academic backgrounds and seeing how effectively they've been able to pull ideas together as a team. And what we're starting to see now is that those ideas are coming into fruition. We're seeing outcomes from those projects, many of which are impactful, and we're really excited about following some of those projects forward into the future.
In my role as Deputy Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Research Culture, I'll also become the new MASI Director. That's really important because it shows that we've created an exemplar of good research culture within our institution. MASI's grown a community which has brought people together focused on big societal challenges, and we will continue to do that. And to facilitate that, we will continue to fund projects that enable people to pull those teams together. We've got a funding call live right now, and you can find details about that on our website.